It doesn't crawl or slither, but it evolves, infects, and kills in ways that are almost surgical. The Xenomorph is a fully functioning nightmare, and its life cycle is designed to wipe out everything in its path. This is the disturbing life cycle of the Xenomorph Explained, and trust me, it's personal and not just disturbing. So let's break it down. We start at the beginning, and for the Xenomorph, that means one thing: eggs or ovomorph. These leathery sacs aren't just lying around waiting to hatch, as they're placed with purpose, usually by a queen, in a dark and damp hive that feels more like a death trap than a nursery. Each one holds a facehugger inside that's alive, ready, and coiled like a spring. The egg doesn't open randomly either. It's reactive and sensitive to movement, heat, and even subtle changes in air pressure, so the moment a living organism gets too close, it opens. 4 fleshy petals peel back, and out comes the facehugger. No warm-up and no hesitation, but just a full-throttle biological assault. And here's the catch: these eggs can stay dormant for years and maybe even decades. They don't age, nor do they rot, and they don't die. They just wait, waiting for one wrong step, one curious explorer, or one sign of life. There's no warning, no sound, no signal. From the outside, the eggs just look like a part of the scenery. They seem organic, but harmless, but inside, something is alive. It's watching, and it's breathing, coiled like a trap, and it's ready to spring. Don't let the quiet fool you, though. This is where the horror begins, because what comes out of that egg isn't searching for life, it's looking to end it. The egg is just the beginning. What hatches next changes everything. Once the egg opens, the facehugger springs out. It's small, spider-like, fast, and has one job, which is to find a host and implant an embryo. Its jump is fast, but its aim is exact. It goes straight for the mouth. It wraps its long fingers around the head and coils its tail around the neck like a noose. In seconds, it forces a tube down the throat and plants a xenomorph embryo deep in the chest. And once it's attached, it's not coming off. Trying to pull it off is dangerous. It could snap the victim's neck or spill acidic blood that burns through metal. Even drugs and surgery don't help. It holds on until the job is done. Strangely, the host stays alive, but the facehugger keeps them unconscious, like in a coma. When the implant is complete, it lets go and dies. Its mission is over like a drone built for one task. And the worst part is that the victim wakes up with no pain. Not yet. The chest burster doesn't wait. It rips through the ribcage in a burst of blood, bone, and panic, but all starts after the embryo is implanted. It starts working fast, and in just a few hours, it attaches to the host's organs and begins to grow. It feeds and reshapes itself from the inside. There's no fever or any other symptoms, just silence until it breaks. The host dies instantly, not from shock or blood loss, but from being torn apart from the inside. The body is just a wrapper for something deadly. The creature that comes out is small, snake-like, and skinless. It has tiny limbs and sharp teeth, but it's not weak. It's built to escape. Even as a newborn, it's alert and already running from danger. It vanishes into the shadows, crawling into vents or dark corners where it can begin to change again. The chest burster is the xenomorph's most brutal stage that's fragile but deadly. In seconds, it turns a person into a corpse and a quiet room into chaos. And this isn't even the monster. This is just the birth of one. Now, a xenomorph is formed once the chest burster escapes, as it doesn't waste time. In just a few hours, it changes fast. Its soft and snake-like body grows into a tall and biomechanical monster. The change happens out of sight, but the result is terrifying. It becomes a fully grown creature over 7 feet tall with black armor like skin and a long skull-like head that looks like a nightmare come to life. This is the form most people know. It's silent, deadly, and smart. Its blood is acid, so even hurting it can be dangerous. It has no eyes, but it moves with scary precision. Its claws can tear through metal, and its tail has a blade sharp enough to stab or cut off a head with one strike. And then there's the inner jaw. Inside its mouth is another set of jaws that shoot out like a piston. They can punch through bone, armor, or anything in the way. It doesn't scream to scare you, but it screams when it strikes. And if you hear it, it's probably already too late. But what makes a xenomorph truly terrifying isn't just how it looks, it's how it thinks. The adult learns from its surroundings. It hunts with patience, it can solve problems. This isn't just an animal, but a hunter. Each one is shaped by the host it came from, and a dog host creates a fast four-legged runner. A predator host makes a tall and brutal hybrid. That's right, the xenomorph can mix with other species. It doesn't just infect, as it also evolves. So far, the life cycle is simple: egg, facehugger, chestburster, then adult. But after that, it depends on the colony. Some stay as drones, hunting and guarding the hive. Others might be chosen or forced to change again. That next stage isn't always guaranteed, but when it happens, it means the species is growing. Now that we've met the adult xenomorph, it's time to step back and look at the bigger picture. That is, the hive structure and queen. These creatures don't just wander around, they build and they organize and follow a system. At the top of that system is the queen. She stands over 15 feet tall with a crown-shaped head and a large egg-laying organ called an ovipositor. But she's not just a bigger xenomorph, she's on another level. The queen is the heart of the hive. She lays dozens of eggs at a time, keeping the species alive and spreading like a virus. Her ovipositor keeps her anchored in place, allowing her to lay eggs constantly unless something threatens her. And if that happens, then she breaks free and attacks without mercy. The queen controls the hive without speaking. She uses pheromones, movements, and instinct. The other xenomorphs respond right away. They stop hunting alone and switch to defending the hive. If she's in danger, the whole hive fights as one. The hive itself isn't just a nest, but rather a fortress. Adult xenomorphs build it using a sticky resin from their bodies. It transforms any place they take over, that is ships, colonies, and ruins, into something dark and alien. Victims are captured and cocooned alive. They are kept breathing just long enough to become new hosts. Every hallway is a trap, and every shadow could hide death. At this stage, the life cycle becomes more than biology. It turns into a full horror ecosystem. One queen, dozens of drones, and endless eggs. And if even one facehugger gets loose, then the nightmare starts all over again. Here's where things get even more unsettling, because if the queen rules the hive, where's her queen origins? In some rare and terrifying cases, a new queen isn't born from an egg laid by an existing queen. Instead, the xenomorphs make her. When a hive is without a queen, then maybe the old one is dead or the colony needs to expand as certain xenomorphs undergo a biological shift. One of the drones, usually a Praetorian or elite warrior, begins to morph into a queen embryo. This process is as violent as it is mysterious, and it transforms the creature into something much larger, much more intelligent, and infinitely more dangerous. Alternatively, there are reports of specially developed royal facehuggers that are rare variants with longer limbs and a bloated sac designed to implant a queen embryo instead of a regular one. These are seldom seen, but when they appear, it means one thing, and that is a new queen is about to rise. From that moment, the embryo follows the same steps of chest bursting and rapid growth, but with a key difference. This queen is built to dominate. Within hours, she reaches full maturity and begins laying the foundation of a new hive. It's a system designed to survive and adapt. Even if you wipe out a colony, the xenomorphs have a contingency plan because for them, extinction is just an inconvenience. The queen might seem like the final stage, but the xenomorphs have one more terrifying form that takes things to a whole new level. Lurking between the ranks of the common xenomorphs and the towering queen is a creature bred not just for strength, but for war. The Praetorian is the elite guard of the hive, often seen only when a queen is present or when one is about to rise. Larger than drones but smaller than the queen, the Praetorian stands out with its massive crest-like head and heavily armored exoskeleton. Its body is designed for frontline combat, able to take on entire squads of Marines without slowing down. Where drones are stealthy and agile, the Praetorian is pure intimidation and brute force. But the most chilling part is the Praetorian is pure intimidation and brute force. But the most chilling part is that the Praetorian is far from just a soldier, it's a potential queen in waiting. Under the right conditions, if the hive needs a new matriarch, a Praetorian can transform into a queen, giving the xenomorphs a built-in backup plan for domination. It's a reminder that in the xenomorph hierarchy, even the warriors can evolve into something far worse. And with the Praetorian, we reach the final known stage in the xenomorph's twisted life cycle. It's one that proves even their warriors are just queens in waiting. Don't forget to hit that like button.